So this is Larry Dallas. I heard the latest episode of An Honorable Mention with Jeff Schwartz and Shane Hagedorn talking about a night that will forever live in infamy. The show in Connecticut, under the fucking tent, as you guys talked about. It was, for those of you that don't know how I broke into the business, I broke in as ring crew for Ring of Honor. It's how I got my start. And, we had some setups. Basketball City, where it was an air-filled balloon almost. We had to take it piece by piece by piece. It was a 12-hour setup. Back in the day when you did ring crew for Ring of Honor, you got there about 5-6 hours before showtime, set up the whole thing, and you had to stay there for about 2-3 hours afterwards, tearing it all down. So we were doing Connecticut, and the next day we were doing Manhattan. I believe it was the Manhattan Center. I think it was our first time ever there. So we were there, and that day, I believe it was a building code violation that got us kicked out. Something about a fire code. Some promoter called up that was jealous, didn't want us running, whatever. We end up under a tent, and it torrentially downpours. And our teardown took about 6-7 hours because of that. And we had to be at the Manhattan Center the next day at 9 in the morning, or whatever venue we were in Manhattan. We were all on 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, and we had another 24-hour day ahead of us. It was the day that infamously they say Larry Dallas died. It was the day that broke me. It broke me that day because it was one of the hardest weekends of my life. And it's so funny looking back, listening to Shane and Jeff talk about it. It's a great moment in my lifetime. It's something that defined me as a person because I left something I loved and went and did other things, and I eventually came back, and I came back stronger and better because of it. But it was the day that broke Larry Dallas. It was the day that broke Derek Dempsey. It was the day that broke a lot of people. But hats off to everyone involved that worked hard that day, all the fans that showed up. If you want to know more about the story, about how it broke me, how I almost wasn't who I am right now, wouldn't have been on Busted Open, wouldn't have been on Evolve, wouldn't have been Dragon Gate, wouldn't have been China, wouldn't have done anything I did. If that day I quit, I never came back. It could have been the end of me and my story. It was about maybe 10 years ago, 21, 22 years old, so about 10, 11 years ago. You want to listen to An Honorable Mention with Jeff Schwartz and Shane Hagedorn. Find out about the day that broke Larry Dallas and a day that will live in infamy forever. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all those options. Listen to it right now. It's a story you're not going to want to forget.